What has church discipline got to do with divorce? If you are a Christian, depending on the tradition that you come from, there may be a practice of church discipline. Now, externally, from the outside looking in, the church may or may not have a good reputation for doing well with this practice, but the basic idea is actually to extend as much opportunity as reasonable and safe for grace. So in Matthew 18, the whole theme of Matthew 18 as a chapter is forgiveness. And then there's one particular portion of Matthew 18. I don't have a Bible in front of me, and I don't have this memorized verbatim, but this is the section on church discipline or the mechanism for excommunication, if excommunication is to happen. It goes basically like this. If your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault, and if he repents, then you have gained your brother. And if he does not repent, then go to him with 2 or 3 witnesses. And if he still does not repent, then tell the church leadership. And if he still does not repent, then let him be to you as an unbeliever. Now, I say that if this would apply to any brother or sister in the faith, then why would you not apply this in marriage? It seems like if you applied at this low level, why would you not do the same thing in marriage for the major offenses? Obviously, you're not going to go through a church discipline process every time your husband leaves his socks on the floor, or every time your wife gives you the look that just means you're in trouble. Those are part of life, those happen. But for the major offenses, abuse, abandonment, adultery, addiction, if it is safe to do so, and in the case of abuse, it may not be safe to do so, but if it is safe to do so, then going through the church discipline process, or potentially an excommunication process, or a process where you have escalating levels of church authority and church support, I imagine that would be different than what people struggling in their marriages or struggling with divorce or headed towards divorce. I imagine that would be different than what divorcees experienced for the last probably 50 or 60 years as a whole. It'd be interesting. Now, what that would look like in your church, in your context, really depends on your theological structure, your church tradition, the leadership structure of your church, and then the particular practice of your church. So this may or may not work. But if you want to get support from your church to save your marriage and have escalating levels of church authority, calling attention to the fact that someone's behavior in your marriage is not okay, and it is undermining your marriage, and in fact undermining the reflection of Christ through your marriage, this might be something to consider. If you find these videos helpful, please consider leaving a comment below, sharing it on social media, or subscribing to either the email newsletter or the YouTube channel. Thank you.